On next, Glenn Voakes. Glenn, welcome.
It's Glenn Voakes. I'm from Mississauga. I'm not sure whether to say good morning or good afternoon, but good something. I'd like to thank the chair, all council members and regional staff for providing me the opportunity to make a deputation at today's budget meeting. Thank you. I would like to speak of the program unknowns, including the unknowing cost of the proposed region's 5-year DEI program. To date, I have watched 3 presentations of the proposed region's 5-year DEI program going back as far as February 2024. I rewatched the presentations as well. And I also am grateful, along with other concerned residents, being provided time to meet with the regional CAO, Gary Kent. Thank you, Gary. The regional council chair, Nando Ianica. Thank you, Nando. And the program lead, Juliet Jackson, who just spoke. To the best of my knowledge, at no time has the total cost of the proposed 5-year Regions DEI program been laid out or discussed publicly that we are aware of, not even a rough order of magnitude. And for you, those that may not know what that is, it's a business term of the cost that is being brought forward. To put the rough order of magnitude cost into perspective, it is to provide a high level range, minus 25 to plus 75, or worst case, best case scenario, which would be an easy target at this point in time to arrive at, and have not seen that as of to date. In addition, no detail on the program's processes have been presented, nor how success will be managed and measured, all of which are critical steps in governance. All this at a minimum should be known and given suspicion that this may be a multi-million-dollar venture. Nor has any assurance the negative aspects of the DEI program be introduced later should the program move forward at this time, potentially affecting the cost. During the meeting with regional staff, the regional chair, it was asked if there had been any public awareness presentations of the proposed 5-year DEI program being offered. It was stated that one had been conducted a year ago. Then there was subsequent updates indicating there were numerous virtual and public meetings and a survey. However, no results of any of those meetings or survey have been shared to this point. Perhaps council has been apprised of the feedback received. I don't know. The budget as referenced by a previous deputant indicates $334,000 expenditures for 2025. The assumption is this amount is to carry on with the current culture and inclusion program and does not form any part of whatever the cost of the proposed 5-year program is. But we stand to be corrected on that. We were told that there are 10 people in the culture and inclusion staff plus 1 being hired. We estimate the annual loaded labor, I'm assuming you know what loaded labor means, of existing staff and 1 hire to be $1.3 million. Not sure how this cost relates to the $334K as tabled in the budget. It is unclear if the additional work to run the proposed 5-year DEI program will be managed by the existing department staff, but that may be unlikely unless the department was overstaffed. In addition, as we understand, there is a request for a vendor, another name for consultant. Currently, it is difficult to determine the actual cost of the proposed 5-year Regions DEI program. Processes that they want to use have not been outlined. Metrics to measure success and frequency of reporting to council have not been given. Another item from a cost consideration is 500 staff vacancies that appear to be exist at the region. A question before simply replacing any of those 500 people would be what work has not been getting done without them, if any. Do we really need 500? If required, where is that cost factored into the 2025 budget? Are they in the proposed 5-year DEI program part of the 9% budget increase? Will hiring be based on merit or skin color? In such a budget-constrained year, do we think launching the DEI program with its ambitious, I'll get it out, scope is prudent thing to do. Maybe before we rush down this path, we need to look out why everyone else is abandoning it at an alarming rate after years and billions of dollars spent. Taken from the Mississauga Foundation publication, none of the 5 issues that concern Mississauga residents today dealt with 30 seconds or less. Issues that concern Mississauga residents today dealt with the sense of non-inclusivity. In fact, 76% of those surveyed rated Mississauga an inclusive city. Taking all the above into consideration, I ask you to consider making the prudent decision of deferring this proposed DEI program until more is known and a fulsome investigation has been performed and properly presented to all council. It is never too late to do the right thing, and time is not of the essence with this project. In closing, let me quote what an incredibly famous lady of Mississauga always said: do your homework, okay? Please ask yourselves, do I have a good feeling that the region has done its homework about this, all aspects of this proposed 5-year DEI program? I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, and there may be a question, Glenn. Thank you. Councillor Butt.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Glenn, for coming today. And more importantly, thank you for meeting with the CAO, the chair, and Juliet to talk about the program and your concerns that you may have about them. So thank you for doing that, because it's important that we have these discussions and that dialogue. The deputant did ask that he wasn't aware of what the 5-year projected budget is for this program. Can staff answer that? Do we have a number?
Through the chair, and thank you for the question. The 5-year plan is a plan. It's not a cost-loaded plan. It's an opportunity to discuss with the community what the projections are with respect to what the region is thinking about doing with respect to DEI. So it is not something that has been costed yet, and we would be bringing it to council if and when there are programs within that plan that we agree on executing, and they would be brought here and we would talk about them, and then approval would be given.
So the only thing that's been committed is just 2025 at this stage, which I think was around $346,000. That's it for now. And if we extend beyond that, you'll be coming back to council and we'll get an opportunity to discuss that and look at the proposed amounts. Okay, thank you very much.
Very good question, Brad.
So
Thank
could
you.
I distill that down? So what you're saying is the 334K is for the current program, right? Right?
2025.
And any further initiatives towards a DEI program will come back again, okay? And at that point in time, we'll find out it's multi-millions of dollars, maybe. Is that right?
Yep, yep.
Thank you.
More to come back, absolutely. Councillor Hornick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to have staff a chance to check Mr. Voakes' staff assertions. I guess, is that correct? We have 10 full-time staff devoted to this topic?
Through the chair, yes. In the budget book, you will note that for culture and inclusion group, there are 10 staff.
Okay, so it's,
And 1 is accessibility.
and one is accessibility. Okay, so we have 10 current staff, and then these projects are to complement that and that. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. If there are no questions, receipt moved by Councillor Hornick, seconded by Councillor Butt.